This is my list regarding the 20 best licensed video games of all time. First of all, these are 20 games, so do not make a list of 30 other games that should have been in the list. Second, this list is not only based on my personal opinion, but also on games true to the source material, how fun they are, and how they hold up to this day. Third, everything from comic books to movies and books qualifies. Also, in order to avoid some complaints about the order, they are in alphabetical order, and there's only one game per franchise. So here's the list. Enjoy. Number 1. Batman Arkham City. What makes this game stand out from the rest of the Batman games are the combat and the exploration, high gadget variety, solid fist fights, challenging AI and an open world full of secrets make this the ultimate Batman game out there. At least until Batman Arkham Knight comes out. Number 2. Blade Runner. You probably don't know about this 1997 point-and-click adventure based on Ridley Scott's cult classic science fiction movie, and that's a shame. The game takes place during the events of the film and features large environments, real detective work, 13 endings based on the choices that you make, and also shootouts against androids. Be sure to buy this game if you find it, it's really rare. Number 3. The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. This prequel to Pitch Black takes place in the Butcher Bay prison, and Riddick, voiced by Vin Diesel himself, tries to escape. The excellent voice acting and rewarding stealth system make for a must-play for both fans of the movies and fans of stealth action games in general. An enhanced version of the game, Assault on Dark Athena, does feature improved graphics and new campaign and multiplayer mode, but has worse AI and weaker stealth. Number 4. Dirty Harry, aka Dirty Harry: The War Against Drugs. This is probably the most unknown game on the list. Released on the NES in 1990 and based on the iconic franchise starring Clint Eastwood, you play as the titular character in 3 levels from the streets of San Francisco through the docks into Alcatraz Island. You can punch enemies, shoot at them with the 44 Magnum, or confiscate drugs. Number 5. Ghostbusters, the video game. Dan Aykroyd said that this is essentially the third movie. I totally agree with them. You play from a third-person perspective as a new rookie, and you follow the original cast through new and old locations. Use the iconic Proton steam to weaken the ghosts, to then use the capture stream to maneuver the ghost into a ghost trap. This is the closest that we'll get at being a Ghostbuster. Number 6. Goldeneye 007. One of the earliest third-person shooters and successful licensed games. This game is based on the amazing GoldenEye movie, the 007 franchise. The game features the highlights of the movie, and you have to complete different objectives to further advance the plot. There are impressive features for a 1997 game, such as bullet penetration, as well as an addicting and incredibly fun multiplayer component, in which you can play against 3 other players locally as both James Bond heroes and villains. This is a classic that won't be easily forgotten. Number 7. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is probably the most controversial game on this list. I have a love-hate relationship with this franchise. I loved the first 2 games when I was a little baby, quite enjoyed the different activities in the 3rd one, and hated the 4th, 6th and 7th installments. This one is easily my favorite. Multiple activities, engaging duels, free roaming around the castle and different spells make for a great experience for fans of both the books and the movies. Number 8. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. The 1967 short story by Harlan Ellison, on which this point-and-click adventure is based on, is one of the most depressing and disturbing things you will ever read. The game further expands the apocalyptic universe in which the sentient computer AM tortures the last 5 human beings on Earth. Each character has a fatal flaw, and it is up to the player to decide the outcome of the scenarios that each character finds itself put into. This game is not for the faint of heart or young audiences, as it features insanity, rape, paranoia, murder, and genocide. Number 9. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. Although I'm a big fan of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, this game makes you feel like Indiana Jones. This original adventure takes scene in different locations around the globe, such as the jungles of Ceylon, the Prague Castle, Constantinople, and Hong Kong, searching for the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. While the game does have guns like the classic revolver, shotgun, and machine guns, the strongest feature are the fist fights. There is a huge amount of combinations, and every fight feels fresh. Number 10. Every LEGO game. I know that this is kind of cheating, but it is nearly impossible to decide which licensed game by LEGO is the best. You have the 2 Star Wars trilogies, LEGO Batman, LEGO Indiana Jones, LEGO Harry Potter, LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean, LEGO Lord of the Rings, LEGO The Hobbit, and even LEGO Marvel Superheroes. So, I decided to declare all these games some of the best licensed video games out there. I highly recommend the Star Wars and Lord of the Rings games. Number 11. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, or The Battle for Middle-earth. Again, I'm cheating, but this is very hard to choose. The first one is a single-player and multiplayer action game that closely follows the events of the third movie, with a great combat system and variety of characters. The second is an epic real-time strategy game with 2 campaigns for the good and evil side, as well as 4 vs 4 multiplayer matches in which you can ally with Gordon and Mordor to destroy Rohan and Saruman. They're both very different, but also fantastic games based on Tolkien's books and Jackson's movies, so choose both of them. Number 12. Peter Jackson's King Kong. Like it or not, Peter Jackson's King Kong is a movie of epic proportions, with fantastic CGI and frightening monsters and insects. But you know what's better? 2 games for the price of 1. One is a survival horror FPS in which you have to survive against enormous dinosaurs and ugly insects in a dangerous environment. The other is an action adventure in which you play as King Kong, killing T-Rexes and causing havoc in New York. That's a bargain right there. Number 13. Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is an action role-playing game in which the player, as Captain Nathaniel Hawke, goes on a series of quests for any one of the countries that control the islands of the Caribbean in the 17th century. The player can buy new ships, recruit a crew, and hire officers who will follow Hank on his quest and help him in battle. The game features gameplay that takes place both on land and at sea, and allows the player to upgrade their character by earning skill points and gaining new abilities. Even though it doesn't feature many links to the films of the franchise, this is one of the best pirate games out there, with fun naval battles, huge islands to explore, and intense sword fights. Number 14. Scarface, The World Is Yours. What looks like a simple GTA clone is actually one of the best crime games out there. This quasi-sequel shows that Tony Montana survived the raid that Sosa sent at his house, and now has to rebuild his empire from scratch, while also swearing revenge against his new nemesis. The game takes place in the open world of Miami, and features firefights, drug deals, bribery, and lots of 80s music. Number 15. South Park, The Stick of Truth. After 16 years from the first South Park game, we received South Park's The Stick of Truth, one of the funniest, most satirical, engaging, and overall perfect episodes of South Park, under the spoils of a traditional RPG in which douchebag searches the Stick of Truth together with Stan, Kyle, Cartman, Kenny, and all your favorite characters from the show. Number 16. Spider-Man 2. This is to Spider-Man what the Arkham games are for Batman. Open worlds with multiple villains, fun combat and extreme freedom. Just be sure not to buy the PC port. I did a video about it, and the game is not great. Number 17. Star Wars Jedi Knights 2 Jedi Outcast. There have been lots of Star Wars games out there. The Battlefront series made you experience the epic battles, Rogue Squadron put you in command of an X-Wing, and the Old Republic made you play a good story with mediocre combat. But only Jedi Knights 2 Jedi Outcast made you feel as if you were a true Jedi. In the journey of Kyle Katarn to get revenge, you will meet iconic characters of the franchise like Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian, and you will feel the true power of the Force and the strength of a lightsaber. And shit will get messy if you enable the realistic dismemberment code. Number 18. The Walking Dead Season 1. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a fan of the comics or the television series. The first season of Telltale's The Walking Dead is nothing short of perfect. Follow Lee Everett as he tries to save the young Clementine in a world populated by walkers and scared humans. Every choice made in the game has an impact in how characters react in the future. Sure, the game consists of dialogue choices and quick-time events, but the story is so engaging and compelling that you will end up getting attached to the two main characters, and you will do whatever you must to protect Clementine. Number 19. The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt. Based on the work of Andrzej Sapkowski, this epic open-world fantasy RPG is the last in the trilogy, and the biggest in scope. The trilogy has one of the most mature stories in gaming, featuring politics, race and gender issues. The gameplay is really deep, with an impressive and overwhelming alchemy system, as well as multiple signs to defend and attack. If you love fantasy stories, first read the books, then play the game. You're gonna love them. Number 20. Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. This last game is one of the first games I played in my life. Good memories aside, this is a solid tie-in game with awesome music, open areas to explore multiple times, tight controls, and lots of collectibles.